who used to live with his grandmother before she passed away. After spending some time as a homeless, Nanju finally goes to his grandmother's house. There he finds a mysterious magic book. He decides to practice its spells and accidentally summons a god, who tells him that he's the only one who can control all of the 9 gods. Xiao Nanju is a neat coming home, where he finds his childhood friend, Sidu Zhang, waiting for him. They discuss his unemployment status and Sidu tells him that he should take up his late grandmother's job of being a feng shui and continue with his family legacy. A feng shui is a Taoist with special powers that enables him to work in the fields of medicine, fortune telling, forecasting, and astrology. After Sidu leaves, he sits down and looks at old family memories. He finds his grandmother's diary where she used to write a lot of her job spells and scriptures. He finds summoning phrases with hand signs and tries to copy them to summon an almanac god. He doesn't think that it works at first, but after trying for a while, he summons a cute chubby baby who tells him that it's the almanac god, Xiao Nian. The baby bestows him the title of Laishi, a master of the calendar. As a master of the calendar, he will be able to predict the fortunes and misfortunes of the day. He will be able to dispel evil spirits that will come from people's negative emotions, and he will also be able to alter the festivals of the calendar and influence them as the master. He wakes up in the next morning and thinks it was just a dream, but he soon finds Xiao Nian in his house, who explains to him what his job is, what his powers are, and that he can summon Nian at any time he needs him. His friend, Sidu Zhang, finds him his first client, Zhang Zong, a businessman whose company is responsible for building a bridge. He goes to see him and tells him his fortune, but the man doesn't believe. After Nanju reiterates, the man gets a call from one of his workers who tells him that things are looking bad at the construction site. There has been an accident. The 3 of them rush to the site to see what happened. Nanju notices something is wrong and ends up summoning Nian, but they get suddenly attacked by evil spirits as soon as he appears, forcing them to fight back. Nanju finds out that he can help Nian by dispelling the evil spirits and decides to join the fight. Suddenly, a bell starts to ring indicating that it's 11 p.m. Nian starts to glow and disappears, revealing that Nanju can only summon almanac gods at specific times. While he's gone, the evil spirits pick up some concrete materials and start to attack Nanju again. Before he gets hurt, a large summoning circle appears in the sky and shoots a fireball that defends Nanju, dispelling the evil spirits in an instant. Nanju tries to find who saved him and sees a man standing on top of a pillar. Nanju tries to question who's the man, but a lion appears behind him and moves past him to protect him. The evil spirits try to grab him and attack, but the man comes down and strikes the spirits with his spear, causing them to run away. He then approaches Nanju, who recognizes the man as Chu Shi, the god of New Year's Eve. Chu Shi suddenly starts to show signs of being poisoned by the evil spirits as he starts to emit negative energy from his body and begins to tremble. But still, Nanju takes him to his home together with his lion. When he gets home, Chu Shi looks fine until he starts acting different all of a sudden. He starts to emit bad energy and his eyes even change color to show that he's under the influence of evil energy. He grabs Nanju by the neck and tries to choke him, but instantly comes back to normal, letting go of Nanju, who runs away to the other room and summons Xiao Nian. He asks him about Chu Shi and his sudden change to an evil guy. Nian tells him that due to Chu Shi's long time fighting evil spirits, they have contaminated him and made him weak somehow, and to the point that they can sometimes take over his body. But Nian doesn't tell him how to stop Chu Shi and leaves him hanging. Nanju takes a butcher knife and goes back to where Chu Shi is, only to find that he broke a window and ran away. The next morning, he gets a visit from his neighbor's kids, whom he invites for New Year's dinner. After the visit, he meets Chu Shi behind his door and goes to buy some groceries with him. At the dinner party, Jun, one of the kids, starts to get possessed by evil spirits, after thinking about how he's always been bullied because his parents don't care about him and abandoned him. The evil spirits become big and start to consume Jun. When his sadness grows, the spirit attacks Nanju, but Chu Shi appears and defends him with his spear, saving Jun. Jun's friend's mom receives a call for Jun, telling him that his parents miss him even though they didn't come back for New Year. Jun is happy that his parents miss him, but it's shortly revealed that it's just Nanju who made the call. Da Nian, Xiao Nian's older brother, appears to Nanju to punish him for being mean to his little brother. Da Nian carries with him a pack of firecrackers to dispel evil spirits. He joins Nanju for a mission in the Imperial City, where a museum director needs help dealing with the strange things that have been happening at the museum. The museum keeps the relics of traditional China called the Ruware, a set of kitchenware passed down from generation to generation through many great wars. The museum suddenly starts shaking like there's an earthquake, and one of the glass casings starts to crack. Da suspects it's an evil spirit and throws his firecrackers to dispel it. But the director doesn't like this as he thinks that Da is being a little brat and reprimands him for it. Nanju and Sidu Jong tell him that it's okay and calm the old man down. The old man explains what has been happening at the museum, and Da makes a deduction after finding that the spot the director had said was suspicious. All of the damaged museum relics positions create a 4-direction array. They get inside and he creates an array of his own, expecting it to protect the glass cases from breaking when the evil spirits bounce against them. While they wait inside, an evil spirit aggressively appears and starts to cackle the glasses and shakes the museum, bouncing against the glasses while trying to break them. One of the glass cases cracks, as it was not included in the protection array that Da made. The spirit stops bouncing and they see that it's a cat, but it transforms into a fat kid called Sui Sui Ping, whom Da seems to know. They start fighting, but the hour changes, alerting them there will be soon a change of gods, and they try to quickly wrap it up. The glass that had cracked breaks starts to glow brightly, causing the rocks outside in the 4-direction array to also glow. The 4-direction array gets activated and triggers the clouds in the sky to shift vigorously, making a dragon appear. The dragon gets sucked into the calendar that Nanju carries with him to summon his almanac gods. After the dragon disappears, 3 treasures are left behind: an emperor's almanac scripture, a scroll, and a black dragon horn capable of turning into a sword when Nanju touches it. When Nanju gets home, he shows Chu Shi the treasure and Chu tells him what each of the treasures is. Nanju finally shows him the scroll and it has drawings of him defeating evil spirits. Chu doesn't remember the event, but when he touches the scroll, he suddenly remembers and starts to shake with the flashbacks. Nanju calms him down and tells him to take a walk to the Lantern Festival. There, they meet a little girl who is also an almanac god. Together, they meet a grandma and her grandson who takes them to their home. They arrive at her home and Nanju realizes that the place looks old and unoccupied, but he doesn't ask. They just enjoy the food she cooks for them until a woman and a man comes looking for the grandson. They react harshly towards the 3 and ask them to leave the place before they call the police. Nanju shows them a box that the grandma had given to him in order to give to her son. The man calms down and starts to listen to their story. The 3 find out that the grandma has passed away, and that the kid had run away from home to the old place because he missed his late grandma. They help the man find closure by reading his mother's letter, helping the grandma to rest in peace. While in the spring when flowers bloom, Nanju meets the flower almanac god, Hua Chao of the Flower Festival. He explains the purpose of the festival and how it works as Nanju is new to it. Hua Chao explains that he has started to become weak. Humans have started to forget about the traditional festivals, and as a consequence, the gods become weaker. They meet a blind girl by the name of Unning, who loves a certain tree and has visited it several times. They talk to her to find out whom she came with, and she replies she came with a friend, Sidu Jong. Sidu appears, trips and falls. Nanju helps him get up, and notices an evil spirit coming out of a scar he has on his forearm. He asks him how he got hurt and Sidu says he doesn't know. Hua Chao performs his magic and heals the scar on Sidu's hand. Sidu and Unning leave to attend the flower festival. Hua Chao tells Nanju that the evil spirit that's emitting from Sidu is strong, but it's well hidden. When at home, Hua Chao doesn't think that the evil spirit is from Sidu Jong. Nanju then realizes that it could be Unning, and he tells him that the girl doesn't have any evil spirits. But just to be sure, Hua Chao trails Unning, and while she's out to get groceries, she gets attacked by some evil spirits. He saves her from getting harmed, realizing that it's the same evil spirit he felt from Sidu Jong, confirming that she's the one that possesses the spirit. He goes back to report to Nanju and they decide to pay her a visit together. They manage to make it just in time and find out the real cause. It's Unning's guide dog that's been resenting a worker from the guide dog facility. The facility wants to replace her current dog with a new one because the current one is sick and old. Unning already refused it several times, but the facility keeps insisting, making the dog angry about it. Nanju gets to the apartment, and he finds that Hua Chao is already defending himself against the evil spirits of the dog. The worker from the dog center and Unning have been knocked out by the spirits. Hua Chao continues to block the evil spirits by casting a shield around himself, but it quickly breaks, making him take the hit and black out. Nanju takes the wheel and summons his black dragon sword to cut the spirit down, eradicating it completely and saving the dog. Later, Hua Chao casts a spell and heals Unning's eyesight, allowing her to witness her loyal dog's final moments. Hua Chao goes into recovery while Nanju takes a break. But on the day of the Cold Food Festival, a leaf suddenly changes the energy in his house and summons another almanac god, Cold Food. They take a walk as they discuss Hua Chao's recovery, and Cold Food explains how the festival came to be. Nanju gets a call from Zhangcheng from the bridge construction site, asking for help to deal with bad spirits. Nanju and Cold Food go there and find that there is nothing on the surface. So, Nanju starts to dig but still finds nothing. Suddenly, the shovel he was using flies up from the ground, and a giant spirit shoots out from the dug hole to attack them. Nanju summons his black dragon sword and cuts the spirits down. But the many spirits fly around and then gather in one place, forming a huge snake that immediately attacks them. Cold Food tries to help, but Nanju tells him to stop as he's weak and should just rest, but he doesn't stop. The sword suddenly leaves Nanju's hands and works on its own to defeat the snake. Cold Food freezes the snake and waits for Nanju to summon lightning, but it doesn't kill the snake. The snake breaks the ice and continues to attack them. Suddenly, a small dagger is thrown from the sky and it stabs the snake, and Chu Shi appears. He cuts the snake down, vanishing it away. He then changes and gets consumed by the evil spirits and starts to move forward to attack Nanju, who's trying to check Cold Food's condition. Cold Food notices Chu Shi approaching.